I was 32 and I was married, and I was spending a lot of time working as a self-employed dental hygienist. I was hoping to have a family, and my husband and I were really busy. We were desperately trying to keep fit, but I was increasingly noticing that I couldn't stand for very long. I would get a pain in my right leg. I noticed that it was getting more common and it would happen more quickly. But bizarrely, I was still able to do all this exercise. It was just basically standing still that was the problem. And it got worse. So I probably dropped off to sleep for about half an hour, and I woke up with just an incredible pain, but in the other side. So it'd always been dominantly on my right hand side, but I woke up with an incredible pain on my left. I think that was probably the most frightening time, because it was a complete different level of pain. And I just, before I would say, oh, I can't move, but I really couldn't move. It was incredible. So I went into the acute hospital and I met an orthopaedic surgeon, and he examined me, and he didn't really say too much. He just said he wanted a CT scan. So that later on that afternoon, I had a CT scan, and I remember asking the person doing the scan what they'd found, and they said, oh, it's a sciatica. I thought, oh well, that's where we're at. But then later on that evening, the surgeon came back up and he said, we will need to operate. We're either going to do it tonight or tomorrow morning. I didn't understand the importance of it, because nobody was really saying. They were just, it's a sciatica and it needs, I don't even think I even heard, certainly didn't hear the word Cauda Equina. And I don't even know if I heard the word decompression. I heard there was pressure on a nerve, that sort of explanation. So it wasn't actually until the Tuesday morning in the end that they actually operated. I'd had the first operation, but things really weren't improving. I had a lot of muscle wastage in my leg, a lot of other problems around pain, just not getting stronger. And I went back to my GP and I was referred to a neurosurgeon. He examined me, and that was the first time I actually heard this is a medical negligence case. And all the neurosurgeon said, this is due to a massive delay. This should have been operated on the Friday. You had the red flags. Bringing the case for me, it just actually was somebody to say, you were right. You weren't this pregnant woman with a dodgy back who had exaggerated all out of proportion. We got the money, and it meant that I could change my car. My left leg is very weak. So it meant I could have an automatic car. I also funded some university courses for myself, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to work clinically as a hygienist, because we sit leaning over and operating things with feet and hands. You're putting a lot of pressure on your back. And we moved house, but we made sure it was a house sort of future-proofing in mind. That was the security for us, I think, just to sort of think, we've got that breathing space now. It was those, just to think that there's a little bit of money in the bank. If I've had operations since then and I've not been able to work for long periods of time. So we've always had that to fall back on. Thank you to you, because your professionalism and that gently guiding but little bit pushing hand was exactly what I needed at the right time.